water, it changes into water vapor and goes up and becomes clouds. When the cloud becomes heavy with water, they fall down as rain. And when they fall down as rain, in the mountains they become rivers and they flow down in the sea. So it is like a cycle. It comes up goes on like that.
Okay. Now, is any part of this cycle called evaporation?
So the whole water cycle is not called evaporation.
The heat from the sun, when it falls on the water becomes very hot. So then the water goes up in the form, because it becomes very hot, it goes up in the form of steam, and then that steam turns into water vapor, and then when it goes up, it's very cold. So then it turns into clouds and it starts raining.
Okay, so this entire thing is called
Evaporation.
Okay, fine. What exactly is evaporation, according to you?
According to me, evaporation is the water cycle.
The water in the oceans and rivers get heated by the sunlight and it goes up by making water vapor or gases. This is known as evaporation.
Evaporation is a very fundamental concept, okay, that students learn very early in their schooling. It's one of the first few abstract concepts that they learn. Okay. You can't really see evaporation happening. Okay. You have to imagine and understand deeply what is going on in the process. Okay. Usually when abstract concepts are taught, okay, they need to be linked to an everyday phenomenon that students can observe and therefore be able to build their concept. Okay. However, interestingly, the concept of evaporation is taught in the context of something called the water cycle. Now, the water cycle is in itself a very large and abstract idea, okay, of how water cycles through the entire process of evaporation, formation of clouds, rain, and going into the ground, etc., etc., etc. And we find that because evaporation is introduced through the water cycle, students build a very limited view of what evaporation is. In fact, you'll find that evaporation and the water cycle seem to be synonymous for the students.
I choose for A because of this. When they are keeping the glass outside on the terrace, the sun will make it evaporate, and that is one example of the evaporation.
I think it's 1 and 3.
Lovely. You think it's
1 and 3.
why?
Because water vapor, water from the oceans and river changes into water vapor, and then water vapor changes into water and Prithvi.
So, what do you understand by evaporation? What is evaporation?
Evaporation is when the water from the seas and ocean gets collected into the clouds and gives rain.
Gives rain.
I say that it's A because it's like evaporation is when the water gets heated and it goes up and turns the form into the clouds.
Okay, so
So I say it's the answer is A.
only the first one is evaporation. Why isn't the second and the third one evaporation?
Because how can water of glass go up in the air? The steam can't come in the glass. Evaporation is when the water is falling down. Like suppose when we play Holi, a lot of water falls, and afterwards in few hours and all, so much water cannot get dried up. So some water goes up in the sky, and that is a form of evaporation.
Okay, but water, suppose I spill some water here on the ground.
Both things can happen. It can dry, or it can not in an indoor. It can't evaporate in an indoor. It can evaporate outside on the road or somewhere.
Water cannot change into water vapor inside the house because there is no valid source of heat.
It isn't, because when evaporation is when hot water falls, or there's very hot water kept somewhere and it changes to steam. That's called evaporation. Even if the water was hot and it dries up, it won't be called evaporation.
Water will dry up if you put on the table. It will not evaporate, but it will dry up.
Okay, so you're saying there's a difference between evaporation and drying up.
Yes, sir. Sir, because there is heat in the room, if you switch on the fans, the fan is moving, and the heat in the room will go out. If you don't switch on the fan, because of the heat, it can be dry also, and if it's because of the heat, it will evaporate also, dry also.
But you think that drying and evaporation are different things?
Yes.
The most interesting aspect of what we just saw was the fact that students seem to think that drying, which is a process that they observe in day-to-day life, okay, drying of some water that's spilt or drying of clothes, etc., okay, is different from the process of evaporation. Okay. It's a classic example of how an abstract concept has become detached from everyday experiences. Because they think of evaporation only in the context of the water cycle. They think that the sun must be there, and evaporation can only happen if there are large bodies of water, okay, or it's in the summer, etc., 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 etc. And this is the problem over here.
After seeing this, you feel that, oh my, there are so many ambiguities still which are unanswered. So as teachers, we need to cater to all of those and keep these things in mind, that are we clearing their misconceptions, are we giving them proper understanding, and I think that will be all. We can take water into equal amount of water in 2 petri dishes, and we can ask students to put one in the sunlight and one in the classroom where there is no sunlight at all. It's a dark place, a dark corner in the classroom, and let them just keep observing, noting down the process that is happening. Every day they go, they observe it, and they note down their observations. The kids, they know the one in the sunlight, the process is going to take place, but at times it's very difficult for students to understand that how the water in the classroom is also getting evaporated.